Hey guys, welcome back to Basics with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at pizza. Not only is it the very lifeblood of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it is the very lifeblood of New Yorkers and Tinder profiles everywhere. And I want to show you how you can make a better pizza pie out of this home oven than anything that could be delivered through that door. Let's get down to basics. Alright, so first off we have to make pizza dough. Now you can use the store-bought refrigerated stuff, but the easiest way to make it at home is Jim Leahy's overnight no-knead method. We're going to start by measuring out 500 grams of bread flour, 16 grams of kosher salt, and 1 gram or a quarter teaspoon of active dry yeast. We're then going to whisk those together, make sure that they are thoroughly combined, before adding 350 milliliters or 350 grams if you still got your bowl on the scale of water. Use a wooden spoon to roughly combine into a shaggy dough. This should only take a few minutes, and don't worry about how messy it gets. Once it just barely comes together and no big clumps of dry flour remain, simply cover with plastic wrap and let sit at room temperature for 18 to 24 hours. That's it. In the meantime, we're going to make a simple pizza sauce. Start by bringing some extra virgin olive oil to a shimmer over medium heat, adding some roughly chopped garlic and sauteing for 1 minute or until fragrant. Add some red pepper flake, let that mingle with the garlic for another 10 or 15 seconds before adding a 28-ounce can of whole San Marzano tomatoes. Give this a good stir and start breaking up the tomatoes a little bit, but you don't have to worry about it too much because we're going to puree this sauce. And for that sort of New York pizza parlor flavor, we're going to add a little bit of dried onion powder and a little bit of dried oregano. Stir a little bit to combine and let this guy simmer gently over medium-low heat for about 30 to 45 minutes, just to let these flavors get to know each other. Then we're going to simply dump our sauce into a blender and puree for just 10 or 15 seconds. We just want to break up the major tomato solids and make something nice and smooth that we can spread on our pizza. Speaking of which, it's dough time. We're going to start by generously flouring our work surface and then retrieving our pizza dough, which you can see has both grown in size and become uniform in texture. The slow overnight ferment is also going to make for better flavor and browning down the line. We're going to divide our dough into 4 pieces, that's 4 pizzas. Cover the other ones with plastic wrap while we work with our first ball of dough. We're going to evenly coat it in flour and start gently patting it down into the general shape of a pizza. Don't worry too much about getting it perfectly round, and don't roll it out with a rolling pin. We're just sort of gently coaxing, suggesting what shape this dough should result in. Now we're going to pick it up and using our knuckles, passing it knuckle over knuckle, stretch it out into a larger and larger pizza pie. Accidentally drop it down on the countertop, stretch it back out, make some final corrections, just sort of get it generally into the shape that you want. We're going to have one more chance to make revisions before we throw this guy in the oven. First, we need to dust our pizza peel with cornmeal or semolina flour. This is going to act like little ball bearings to help the pizza slide off easily into our waiting 500-degree oven that we've been preheating for at least an hour. And now, you guessed it, it's sauce time. We're going to ladle a few ladlefuls of sauce onto our pizza, one at a time, spreading them out, getting it all the way to the edge. The placement of the sauce and the cheese are really what are going to determine the shape and size of our crust. And now we're topping with some shredded low-moisture mozzarella, not pre-shredded. That stuff is coated in potato starch and will result in the nasty unmelted pieces of cheese that you might be used to if you've ever made pizza at home before. We're also going to top with a couple leaves of basil. And now pick up the pizza and give it a shake and see if it's sliding around freely on your pizza peel. If it's sticking anywhere, just lift up the corner and dust it with a bit more corn flour. Now slide it onto your pizza stone in your preheated oven and bake for 7 to 9 minutes until it looks like a pizza. I know it doesn't seem feasible, but try to let this cool for a few minutes before cutting into pieces and serving. Your mouth will thank you for it. Your mouth will also thank you for putting this pizza inside of it because it's really, really very good. I can't tell you what kind of difference a slow fermented dough like this makes. And as long as we have 4 pieces, why don't we try some variations? I have some spicy soppressata that I'm going to put on top of a little bit of cheese and red sauce, a little bit of freshly torn basil, and this time I've pushed the sauce truly all the way to the edge. This is going to give me a darker crust with more caramelized tomato sauce. And now I'm going to top the whole thing with some fresh, creamy burrata cheese. cheese. Burrata is like a little sack of mozzarella that is filled with sweet cream, and it is off the charts delicious. Now, you can obviously top your pizza however you want. You can put pineapple on there for all I care, but what about different form factors? How about a calzone? This time I'm just going to spread sauce on one side of the dough, top with the requisite mozzarella cheese, or the cheese of your choice, and I'm also going to throw some chopped up ham in there. I think that'll be fun. And how about some nice sauteed spinach? To be honest, I'm just throwing stuff in there that I have in the fridge. This is a great way to use up leftover ingredients from other recipes. Simply fold the dough over on itself, crimp with a fork, and if you want, you can trim away the excess dough for a cleaner presentation. Same deal as the pizza, make sure that it is sliding around freely on your peel. For a browner, slightly glossier crust, I'm going to drizzle this and brush it down with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and throw it into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes or until deeply browned. Normally you want to let this guy cool off for a little bit, but I'm trying to get that porny, steamy cross section, which we can take a look at now. Serve with some extra sauce on the side for dipping, or just dig in as is. I hope you guys try this yourselves. It's easier than it looks, and we can cook it together next week during the live stream on Twitch.